and welcome to another exciting but informative episode of Enterprise Weekend, reaching you from Enterprise Television. This is that time of the week when we unwind and, interestingly, take a look at soft stories, a little bit out of the hard news that we have been used to right here on Enterprise Television. I am Henry Ikwebike. And today we will be, of course, starting with our newspapers, and right after that will be our main conversational. So for today, please do well to be part of what we do. Have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at EnterpriseTVNews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. We're very so honored to have with us right here in our studios from Lagos State, Nigeria, David Ikojo, a youth advocate. Coordinator. Thank you so very much, David, for being here.
It's nice to be on the set again.
Thank you so very much. It's been a while that we had you on this particular set. How has it been with you? And what have you been up to?
It's not been well, though.
Really?
A little away at the brinks where fuel is going to go up again.
Okay.
Every day by day. I won't say the country is getting worse, but things are getting harder.
But how do you think the youth in Nigeria, you are a coordinator of an advocacy group concerned with the youth in Nigeria. How are Nigerian youths feeling right about now? Are they disappointed?
Disappointed is not a good word for it. It's falls short. Everybody is finding a way to run out of the country. Country is bad. We better face, forgive me for this statement, but a lot of us feel like it's better we face racism out there than to be here where we don't even know our left from our right.
Yeah, because it's actually so unfortunate that many decades ago, in the 70s, those who were in charge of, or who are still in charge of politics and economy in Nigeria, back in the days, they had all the opportunities, to go to school for free. Right, they could get everything they need, but right now, rather than them providing all of that for the current youths that we have, we don't see any of that. Do you think that running away out of Nigeria is the best bet?
Running away is not the best bet, but it's the best option we have. So the best option is for the country to sit back and check what they can do to make it easier for all of us. First, we've heard of 5,000 jobs till today. We've not heard anything about it. They said they will give us 5,000 jobs at the time it came up in the news. And we've not seen anything on that right now. And if you check the statistics, every year we have nothing less than 3,000 to 10,000 youths coming out of university. And it's an economy that is not working. They keep saying there is no land. But if you travel across Osun State, Ogun State, before you even move into Oyo and start going down into the middle of the country, you see land unused. These are places where we could make up our mind to start up a company. I know the saying is, okay, a company cannot be run by the government. It has to be run by private. But if the government stands and said, we want to run this, let's build a company, all the money that's, we don't know where the money is going. I keep saying this thing, AFCC keeps recovering money. We don't know where the money is going to. So exactly all the billions and millions that we grab from here, we grab from there, where is the money going to?
Well, EFCC said
there is no accountability of where the money is going to.
Well, a little bit of that, it goes to NEL Fund. It had actually contributed about 50 billion.
Even this NEL Fund, the structure is not so strong. I'm pretty sure a good number of people who are getting money from this NEL Fund are people who are not supposed to.
Okay, people who do not need the money.
Yes.
Are those who eventually get the money.
As far as you are just in an institution where you can get a hold of it, even if your school fees is paid, you can still get a hold of it.
That's a very big one. But just before we get into the newspapers, I'd love you to maybe speak to this issue because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had said he would make agriculture sexy for Nigerian youths. So does that mean that it's possible that youths might, as a result of that adjective he used, sexy, possibly go to or think agriculture rather than social media and all the money that's being made on social media?
Again, to think agriculture right now is that, well, it is lucrative in a way that prices of food now is cost. And I keep saying that food that people would plant here in Lagos, plant in Ogun State, plant in Osun State, they will charge you money for trailer that did not bring food from the north.
Okay.
So if you plant a tube of yam 5,000 naira now, how long does it take to plant yam? By the end of the year, you will see yam, and you sell it for the price of someone who is bringing it all the way from the north, which is wrong. So if you actually want to, it's extortion by the way, but if you want to put your mind down into this agriculture of a thing, it's going to take a lot, because land, one, is expensive. To make, in the statement, agriculture sexy, land has to come down a very good amount. Because people are running into real estate now. Right?
Almost every parcel of land now is converted to real estate.
We need to make a law that land that you are buying, if you are not putting something on top, you cannot keep it. Because by the time the money appreciates to more than 5 times what you buy last year 300, this year you want to sell 10 million naira. It's getting out of hand. Everybody's using it as an opportunity to make money, right? Well, it's good investment. But I'm saying that right now what we need is those lands that are being kept, an acre will be kept for no good reason. We will now be selling it later on for a very huge amount.
Price.
If we use that acre now to start farming, you know the amount of produce that can be made out of that will serve a lot.
Very true, because I thought about it while I was coming to work today, how that the proliferation of real estate in Nigeria is debasing so much. You know, lots of lands right now in different villages are taken over by real estate developers. And rather than have those lands earmarked for farming, we keep them hoping that it would one day turn to a city, you know, and people buy them very expensive. But that's just a little bit of, what we have. But let's get into our newspapers for today. We're starting from the Saturday Punch newspaper. Litany of interesting stories here. Let's start with this other issue. Rape. Speed Darlington kicks as Naptip declares singer wanted. David Ikojo, what have you got to say about it? It was yesterday I actually saw it. Naptip had this wanted on Speed Darlington. Remember, he had allegedly said he did something funny on a 15-year-old girl. And rather than apologize for it, he came up again and said he is an artist and he wanted to promote his album. So what is the connection? If we draw the dots, does it really make any sense?
That is one very wrong to say of him. And yeah, I saw the video too. I saw the videos that he made and things that he said. And I think as of that point, they should have picked him up.
Oh, okay.
For allegedly, for saying that yes, he did this. And that means he already indicted himself that yes, I did this. And this is the reason why I did it. It's not just rape. He did it on a minor. Yeah. That's a pedophile. So they should have locked him up then. And what resources does he have that he's running away that we cannot catch him? Where has he gone that we cannot find him? He's somewhere. I don't think they're putting in much effort to get him. This is like a sideline story, just for people to see that the government is doing something or something is being done about it. I don't think anything is being done about it at all.
But he has a point, actually, when he juxtaposed what happens in the south of Nigeria and what happens in the north. And when he was being looked for, he said that the same thing. The same thing if it were to happen in Zamfara. Nobody will go after the governor who gets married to a 12-year-old.
See, the governor gets married to a 12-year-old. Yes. It's a legal thing there. It's
legal.
Getting married there now, the marriage certificate makes it legal.
But when we come to that's pedophilia.
I know.
So we shouldn't allow culture.
I'm not going to justify what they do. They say it happens in the north.
Yes.
I've not seen any. They say it happens in the north. Let's not just jump into conclusion that these 12-year-olds that they are marrying, they are going to jump them on the bed immediately.
But what do you think might likely happen? Come on, you don't put a goat with a yam in the same place and expect the goat to sing songs for the yam. It's not possible.
Let's not conclude.
Okay.
And that should not be a point of contact for him to say that what he did is justifiable.
Okay.
Well, when this video came up was then that we should have tackled this issue, not now that he has a chance to run into hiding.
Yeah, and he's even an American actually. He's a citizen of America.
Even in America, that is a very serious offense. I even saw one, I think we will get there. I'm not going to mention it, but I saw something in the newspaper. Maybe I'll mention it later.
Okay.
But this thing that happened, if he's in America, we can get them to deport him back to Nigeria.
Well.
So there is no place that he's hidden that we cannot find him. I just think that this is just for people to hear that something is being done, but nothing really being done about it.
All right, so let's just hope that NAPTIP, would do the right thing. The only sad thing, where I think NAPTIP is not doing a good enough job, it added rape, cyberbullying, and cyber stalking alongside the charges. And I asked myself, what's the business of NAPTIP with cyber stalking?
Rape was enough.
And the rape was just enough, and pedophilia too was enough to get him. And I guess they should, fight their battle and leave others to other agencies. But let's take a look at other matters here. Deadly jealousy, blood, bruises as ladies fight dirty over men. David, you and I know too very well that the number of women in Nigeria is in geometric progression as against the population of young men. And to add to it, our young men that are very handsome, great people are being sent to die in different parts of the country as a result of bandits and all. Because every time you hear bandit killing soldiers, it's men. Oh. So don't you think there's nothing really that concerning if women fight over men?
It's concerning that women have brought themselves low to fight over men. After all the feminism talk, after all the active equality statement, I will now hear that women are fighting over men. It's very bad. It's a very bad image.
It's a very bad image.
Yeah, truthfully, there is no reason to fight.
Really?
Let him decide who he wants to be with. There's no reason to fight.
So when you say that, when a woman, says that 6 feet, a chocolate brown,
let him decide.
And all that, and while she has invested all the time and the resources making this 6 feet, chocolate brown guy see her, and one girl comes from the corner. Don't you think that's a good enough reason to fight?
No good enough reason. I keep telling people, relationship is not an investment.
It's not a what?
It's not an investment.
Oh, okay. Relationship is not an investment.
It's not an investment.
Really?
Yeah, relationship is not an investment.
So you mean culturing a relationship that you hope would end in marriage? It's not an investment.
It's not an investment. Everything you do in that relationship, you should have at the back of your mind that it will blow up. It can blow up.
Really?
Something can happen and you guys might not be compatible.
So don't you think it could be the reason of the man not doing good enough job? Yes. Of maintaining his investment.
If you are with a lady, let's make men the victim. If you are with a lady and you invest in her, she goes through school, and along the line she finds out that there are certain traits you have that she cannot cope with. She's left with two choices. Either she's going to have no choice but to cope with them because of your investment, or she's going to blow away the investment and walk away. Now, if a lady goes to a guy, has been talking to this guy, and the guy sees another lady, and he says, okay, this lady I would prefer, and he goes for that lady, there's no reason for the lady to fight.
Really?
Because it's his choice. This is just a demeaning situation here where ladies are looking down on in themselves, not even the lady they are fighting.
Do you truly care about the emotion of women?
I do.
When they invest their emotion. Now, it might really not be something that we can hold on to, but it's big in their hearts. When they find someone that they truly do care about, they invest their emotion in it. And because men are so very callous, they feel there's nothing in it. So don't you think that emotion should be protected?
I know
by all means.
Protected, but two situations here. This person, you are dating this person, right?
Yeah.
And this person sees another person, and this person decides he's going for the other person. Not only has that person shown that he cannot commit, because you guys have decided that we are going to be in this relationship, we are going to see how it's going to work out for me. I would say if the relationship is not working out, walk out of the relationship. Let it be on the basis of we sit down and we discuss, and I tell you why this relationship is not going to work for me, instead of seeing someone out there. You're in a relationship, you're not supposed to be looking outside. So if this person is looking outside, this person is definitely saying that he cannot be committed if he has commitment issues. Staying that kind of person now, if he gets married and he sees someone out there, there's a 50% chance that he's either going to cheat or he's going to leave this marriage and jump into another one. So that person should not even be settled with anybody. That person should be on their own. So if as a lady, you've committed your time into a relationship, you should be, how should I put this statement for it to make sense? You should have enough pride to know that you should be treated better. This person should not be looking outside. If this person looks outside and sees another person that he wants to be with, and 80% of the time it's just infatuation, there are no feelings. You just
from who? From who?
From
the man?
Person, from the man, yeah. He just sees another lady.
Okay.
And he says, oh, this other lady, she's treating me better. Maybe these are things your girl is doing for you already. But because it's a new person, because it's a new feeling, because you're not used to this feeling already or from this person, you feel like, oh, this person will treat you better. 80% of the time, the person you leave that has been with you will treat you better than the person you are going to meet. You start looking for traits of the person you left in the person that you are with. So it is better you stay in a relationship where we know each other. We know our downfalls and we know our ups. We know our mountains and our valleys. This is where we will now come together and smoothen the lands to be straight instead of from here to here. But in a situation where we're not in a relationship, I'm talking to you, you're talking to me, I see another person and I feel like this other person would do me better. Obviously, I'm free to move to the other person. There's no reason for you to fight there.
Really? I'm actually trying to get this word. It just escaped my mind. That's a relationship where both partners are allowed to go around.
Or open relationship.
Not open relationship. There's this word. It's the relationship between. No, it's the relationship between Will Smith and the wife, where they were all permitted. They had agreed on themselves that, hey, you can go and have your fun, but come back to me when you're done. All right. So if for instance you're dating two people, one makes you laugh, while the other one cooks a better meal, so you can date both of them together. So you are of that open relationship.
I'm not of that open relationship at all. I don't believe in dating two people at a time.
Okay.
So if you are with someone, you should be committed to that person. If you know that, again, forgive me, as a young man, if you are going to the market and you are going to look for a wife, write out a list of things you want your wife to be able to do for you.
Okay, so like the checkbox or something.
Yeah, a checkbox. Now there are pros and there are cons. If she can cook and she cannot do this, are you willing to let go of this for the food that she can cook? If you have your qualities all listed out and she checks 8 out of 10 and the remaining 2 that she does not check, you can make do with it.
Okay.
Fine, you can walk into the relationship. But if she's not checking any of your lists, then there's no point in being in the relationship at all. For those 2 ladies that you are keeping, one that can cook and one that can do something else, one that can make you laugh and one that can cook, there is someone out there that can cook and make you laugh. You just have to find,
Well, the truth of the matter is, there's this English word called utopia. That is, it means that no one is perfect, right? Perfection is really not true. So it means you would always find as humans, so people, who do not have everything. But just before we move to another story, this is just, you have the choice not to respond to the question if you want to. Have you ever seen yourself in a situation where more than 2 ladies are running after you? And how have you been able to solve the problem? How did you solve it?
Answer that question.
Yes, please do.
Well, yes, I have.
Okay, so how did you get out of it?
I made my choice.
You made your choice on a particular one you needed.
Yeah.
So did you have to apologize to the other one you didn't?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not have to apologize. It was my choice.
And do you know how well that other person is faring right now?
I know how well that other person took it. It wasn't so well, but at least she got out of it.
She got out of it with pain.
Yeah, I see. No, the thing is, I've always said this. Just because I'm nice to you, doesn't mean I want to date you.
That you invested in the person.
Exactly. Just because I invited you over, doesn't mean I want anything to do with you.
Okay.
As far as it's not stated in the conversations we've had, that I like you, you like me, let's see how it goes. In my own mind, you are just my friend. We are just mutual. We are just talking to each other. We just have time in our hands for us to talk. And that's all. If you are thinking otherwise and you cannot measure your otherwise, and for me to shoot it down or something.
Well, more like friends with benefits. Isn't it?
Not over
Not like that.
Just friends.
All right. So let's take a look at other matters here. Ogun final year student commits suicide after suspension for exam malpractice. Now, it's too evil at the same time. He committed 2 crimes at the same time. He was involved in malpractice. He was caught. And rather than maybe, blame himself, he went to commit suicide.
That's cowardice.
That's
cowardice. That's plain cowardice, because you walk into an exam hall with a chip. Okay. You know the consequences of walking into an exam hall with a chip. Highest that will happen, like they say, is expulsion, which is a very rare situation of when you've been caught once or twice. If you are caught once and you're given suspension, better thing to do is to either find a way to appeal for it or stay your suspension time. Jumping into the conclusion of going to meet your Lord and Savior is not it.
All right, just before we leave, if we have the time in 90 seconds, if you may. Border policemen raped horse en route to Libya, and that's returnee. That's Nigerian ladies who are very desperate, traveling out of the country. Most of them end up in Italy and other European countries, and most of the time, if they tell you what to go through, some of them is sexual abuse and all that. So the question is, David, do you think it is worth it really to leave the country, especially for ladies, knowing all the very dangerous part that they might meet?
I don't like that question.
Which of the part is it you don't like? It is worth it to leave.
Yes, to leave.
Even via wrong routes.
In the statement, I would say it is worth it to take the risk.
To take the risk.
But what happened to them was not. They didn't deserve that.
Okay.
Because people should be human enough to know that a condition hand could touch you. You have no choice but to leave. You have no choice but to take that risk. Now, putting those people who already have no choice but to live in a condition where you will have to take something from them, you will have to physically abuse them, you need something you will gain from someone who has nothing to give. It's a very wrong situation. It's not a question of if it's better to live. It's a question of what really has dehumanized those people enough to see people who have no choice but to leave the country, and the best thing they could do is rape them.
But it's a choice from the very beginning to look at the cause and the effect and tell yourself, these are the possibilities, and therefore let me remain in Nigeria and make do what I have, possibly.
Let's say I want to leave the country. As a guy, I'm not even going to say as a lady. I have no means to live legally, and I have to leave the country. I'm going to be running past the border. I'm going to find a way to live, right? Let's say we get to a part where they find out that people on this transport are not legally permitted to leave the country. And the best thing to do is not even to shoot at that situation. Human speaking, the best thing to do is not to shoot. The best thing to do is to either run, follow and catch, or you notify the country that they are running into that, okay, so and so people with so and so description has just entered into the country in this area, source them out and bring them back. Okay. So it is not that this person has decided to take a risk. These are the chances that this person is going to come back. The person already knows that it is a very slim chance for me to make it there. I'm just going to see if the land is going to be better. So now this person has decided to take that risk of leaving the country illegally. It's not justifiable that you rape the person, you shoot the person down. There are other means there are other things that could have been done that this person would have been reported back to the country as fast as possible. Like if you squeeze into a box and they put you in a plane and you land in America, and by some miracle they don't find you in the airport, and you start roaming free in the country, obviously they are going to catch you because you have no place to go. You have no funds, you have nothing, and let's say you fall into the hands of someone who's kind and they decide to keep you, fine. Now you fall into the wrong hands, which is not of your situation, and the person reports you to the police, you get deported immediately. Is that not it?
Very sure.
There is no reason for the people in America then now to keep this person jailed up, or beat this person to death, or shoot this person to death. They have more human emotions for them to be able to, okay, go back to your country. they will notify your country that this person now came here illegally, and maybe they will source out, do their investigation, source out how you got to the country, or you tell them how you got to the country, and they will not shoot you down, they will not jail you, they will not do anything wrong to you. They will just, send you back to your country. Is that not it? So those ladies who are running out of the country, there is a 50% chance that when they get to wherever they are getting to, they might fall into the wrong hands. They might fall into the mafia. They might fall into people like Boko Haram. Fall into these people's hands.
Drug addicts and all.
And everything. Or hunger to wipe them out. Yeah, they could get deported back. There is no reason for such thing to happen to them. En route living. So me, I'm not questioning. Yes, their actions are questionable, right, for living illegally. Yeah. But what I am going to question out of that situation is the people who raped them. Is it that they have no conscience? So if it will even be better that you report them to the authorities and pull them back. Let's see what can be done for these people, or let's see the kind of jobs that they can be doing and to make a living for themselves, instead of doing something so close to them.
Very, very true. Of course, we do not, this is actually a very sensitive topic and story that we had to talk and stay with, and it's so very unfortunate that we're talking about this, because in other parts of the world, let's even start with Africa, countries like South Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, their citizens don't go through all of this hell, just for them to survive basics that the government should provide. But because we do not have intentional leadership, you see brain drain. Some of the best that we have in Nigeria going through Herculean tasks just to get themselves out of the country, and some of them get abused in the process. I would love to believe that things should be done better, and possibly we have leaders that would make Nigeria a better place, where Nigerians would love to stay back rather than take the hard route to get it done. And just to let you know, David would still be here to take us on our main conversation. That is when we return. Thief, tradition, maligned. That in a bit, still Enterprise Weekend. Please don't go anywhere.